Why did I pull the trigger, boom? And in the nigga life so soon. Why me pull the trigger, pull it on you? Somebody tell me what I'm gonna do.
Oh, na. I just shot a man down
in Central Station in front of a big old crowd. I felt it was only right that we open with the President of Barbados, my favorite song by She. That's where we just came from.
Oh, yeah.
Praise the Lord, niggas.
Praise him every day. Welcome me, welcome you, welcome all to another episode of Getting Grown with Jade and Keia, where we discuss all things adulting, the tests, the trials, the triumphs, the turns, the twist of this thing called being a grown-up, man.
That's it. How you doing, sis?
You know, I just cannot complain. It would be completely irresponsible of me to complain. I have had quite an experience this past weekend. And even though the devil, with his ashy and just trifling ways, tried to steal all of my joy yesterday on my way home, he is still an ashy lie.
He is.
And he is defeated and under my toes. So take that, you old mangy good for nothing, trifling, useless. Ugh, trash of a devil. But yeah, I'm doing well. I can't complain. I won't complain. How are you doing, sis?
I cannot complain. Listen, I understand that Keia is generally the spiritual one here, but I must say,
oh yes, testify.
If you didn't know there was a creator,
my.
Oh no, take your black ass to Barbados.
You are so ignorant.
Like, if you ever have a single doubt in your heart, go to Barbados and tell me that some science created all of that.
Let me tell you something, because the island is so pretty in and of itself, like all by itself. It's just gorgeous. By
itself.
Come on, Celine. Sing, Celine. Okay, so listen. It made me feel like when I was young, a young lass growing up in the church, you would always sit under the mothers, sit under the older saints, and they would be so, and we would laugh at them, and it seemed like they were being very dramatic and spiritual and deep when they would describe things in that real churchy way. I'm thinking specifically of one of my friend's moms who was yes, she did actually. Yeah. I sat and thought about it, but she did. She was just very, there's like church intellect. My church kids will know what I'm talking about. So there's like people who are I don't want to say genuinely, because I'm not suggesting that church intellectual people are not intellectual. You have people who are smart, and then you have people who are like,
who love the Lord,
smart in that grand and churchy way. So instead of saying like, God created the earth and it was beautiful, a churchy intellect would say, he who fashioned the mighty and majestic splendor of the firmament of the earth, right? Like, you're like, oh God, like the people who talk in King James Version. I found myself speaking in King James Version in Barbados. I'm like, look at how God created all of this. He did it by himself.
From the flies to the grandest palm tree.
Exactly. Like, you just can't be, you're in a place so beautiful, you have to speak King James Version. He founded the earth. It held it in his hands. And it's great and magnanimous and splendiferous. Yeah. And like, you just,
I was out there. I was like, God created this in his bosom.
Listen,
like, this is love, nigga.
And he didn't even have to sweat. He literally said, let there be, and there was.
Yeah.
He's good, Anyway, we don't want to get too churchy.
Sorry.
But yes, you're right, sis. We had the privilege and opportunity to visit the great island of Barbados, and it's just a beautiful place. And I don't think that'll ever be the same again.
I don't think so. It has ruined vacation forever.
I had told Crystal, I said, I thought I had been going on vacations up until this point. But clearly I've not been anywhere. And I've not been taking vacations. I've just been taking field trips.
Yeah.
All the places that I've gone, I've been on little field trips. A vacation was what I experienced this past weekend. And I just feel like I have to now glow up the rest of my life. The rest of my life has to now be a glow up. I have to work that much harder so that I can continue to vacation on the level that I vacationed with my friends.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just feel like I hate to have peaked at this young age, but hopefully, as I got a lot of work to do to ensure that things will continue to go up from here.
Happy birthday to our brother, Kid Fury. First of all,
Fury Nasia
is 30 years old.
210. He is 30 years old.
3 X's.
And I just couldn't be more proud of him. You know what I'm saying?
He spent his 30th birthday jumping off a yacht.
Yeah.
Into a sea of turtles.
My God. I mean, because that's how you do it. That's how you do it, right?
And I spent his 30th birthday jumping off a yacht into a sea of turtles.
Man, that thing it's just amazing. And like I said, this past weekend, I said it to him, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying it to y'all. I'm just so proud and so grateful and so honored and blessed to know him and to be a part of, just this awesome group of hardworking Blacks that we kick it with. Fury especially. And I'm just excited because I feel like he's 30 and all that he's accomplished, and he's literally just getting started. So
getting started.
Like it's only gonna go in one direction from here, and that's up. So I'm super, 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 super proud of him. And happy birthday, Fury.
We love you so much.
We love you down.
So I guess let's take out the trash.
They do.
Get started. We're gonna start off with two serious subjects, which happen to be trash. And then we'll get into some lighter things. But first, I wanted to talk about the Libyan slave trade and what's going on and how it's absolutely appalling and disgusting. So essentially, what's happening is that you've got white people going over into Libya, and they are not, they are holding these people hostage. They are taking them away from their lives. I was reading on the Vanguard, ngr.com, actually, that refugees are from several African countries. They say they have fled war, poverty, and unemployment in their countries. They have taken a tough journey through the desert. They've paid people smugglers to get Libya to try to cross the Mediterranean to the Europe. Jesus. It's just the fact that modern day slavery is happening right now, and it's widespread because it's not just happening in Libya, but it's very focused in it because it's a problem right now. It's shocking and it's disgusting, and I don't know what we can do to help the situation. That's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And I know the UN is trying to intervene, but it's a problem. And so I thought that it would be irresponsible if we didn't at least put prayers out there for our brothers and sisters and what they're going through. Because no human being on this entire planet deserves that sort of treatment. And for people to think it's okay ever, but especially nowadays, is absolutely disgusting. And then the second thing I wanted to address was Cyntoia Brown. Have you read up on Cyntoia Brown, sis?
I have.
So you want to tell them about Cyntoia Brown?
I don't have it in front of me, but Cyntoia Brown, isn't she a young lady who was abused?
Yes. So Cyntoia Brown was she was sold in sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was abused.
Sex slave.
She murdered I guess the man who was responsible.
She murdered. So she was sold to a man. I think he was in his 40s. They said. I can't remember because I don't have it in front of me either. But she was sold to a man.
A 43-year-old man.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says 43-year-old man purchased her and took her into his home to use her for sex. But Cyntoia found the courage to fight back, and she shot and killed him to save her own life. And she was arrested for that, and tried and convicted as an adult, and has been sentenced to life in prison. She'll be eligible for parole when she is 69 years old. So,
she's been in prison since 2004.
Right. Something is extraordinarily wrong with the system that enables rapists, and then, blames victims for fighting for their own lives. And apparently, many celebrities and popular people have spoken out against this injustice against Cyntoia Brown, and have all kind of been rallying around finding some legal counsel for her to help fight these charges. Shout out to this horn or whatever that is beeping outside. Don't they know we recording anyway? But yes, so.
And there's information on how you can write to Cyntoia, all over the internet. But we'll put it in the description box. There are ways that you can contact her, and I think just encouraging words. Yeah. I'm sure she's gonna have an influx of mail, but just encouraging words always that it never hurts for you to send a few words to somebody who could use it at the time. And I know that there's not a lot else that you can do, but that is something that you can do.
I'm sure that would be helpful and encouraging to her. I think there was a documentary about her case that was done in 2011. And in that documentary, there were several psychologists and persons who worked with Cyntoia that have acknowledged that she suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome, and growing up in an abusive home, she deals with depression and other sorts of mental illness. So anything that we can do to support Cyntoia. To help her and hopefully get her the hell out of jail.
Yeah, because this is disgusting. It's just deplorable.
Yeah.
So we'll post that in the description box. On to some lighter stuff. Please. The Soul Train Awards.
Praying for Cyntoia, praying for everybody in Libya. But yes, absolutely on to the Soul Train Awards. Man.
Woo. So we watched together, so there's no use in me asking you if you watched.
We did.
But let the people know your thoughts. So I know that you all were thinking about us during a particular moment in the show.
What moment was that, sis?
Let's see. What tweet did we get? Hold on. We got a tweet. I need to read it verbatim.
Oh man. This is gonna be good.
Well, in the meantime, you talk to the people while I find it.
The Soul Train Awards was an eventful, good time, of Blacks. All of us, led by Erykah Badu and all of her Badu-ness.
Oh my God, love her.
She, did an amazing job, as she usually typically does. I think the show opened up with a performance by SWV, who received the Lady of Soul Award. And Coco, Lily, and Taj came out there in their sensible shoes and sequins jerseys and put on a good show for the people, featuring my very favorite, like the highlight of the Soul Train Awards to me. Oh my goodness. Was the performance of Anything by SWV, in which they had featured Method Man, also known as Clifford Smith,
also known as Andre,
also known as Mine. Okay.
You can have them.
Woo! Okay, so it was just it was thrilling. It was exhilarating.
Can we just bask in the glory that is Method Man for just
my
one
God?
moment?
Like it was a joyous occasion for me, because it's been a long time since I have seen. It's probably since Plain Bay. Remember the gorgeous man I sat next to on the plane?
Yes.
It has been since Plain Bay, since that's probably the last time I have seen someone,
a man who motivates your intellect as well as your loins.
Exactly. Like, I just remember like, oh my God, like it was like 1997 all over again. I was literally running around that little room in Barbados screaming like a banshee. And because the Method Man was on my TV looking like a whole meal, like not a snack, a meal. I'm talking like 2 sides. A meat and 3 sides, a beverage and a dessert. He was looking like 2 starches and a veggie. I mean, he was looking like Thanksgiving, like rice and macaroni and cheese. He was looking like oxtail gravy on the rice. Like, And I just want to thank God for Clifford Smith, born March the 2nd.
Nothing to me about you married. My eyes still work.
Listen, if you did not appreciate Method Man on a Soul Train Awards, then your eyes don't work. That's just the bottom line. He gave me everything. His old light skin, and that he still got his chin strap going strong.
And I hate a chin strap, but let me tell you something. Method Man is okay.
I love you, Method Man,
so much.
Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for making the Soul Train Awards to me, because after that I really don't care. Well, Tamar had a hot microphone. We thank God, because she had been falling victim to this lip syncing, which I feel like is just ridiculous, because Tamar could actually sing. And she also took a break from the theatrics this time, which was very much appreciated. We didn't have to see her rolling and thriving around on the floor like a crazed woman foaming at the mouth. She sat her behind in that chair in a good, sensible bob, and she sung. Like, she really did sing. I was proud of her.
She sung twice, actually, because Tony performed.
Yes.
Okay,
and
so
she
Tony
stepped
got
back in the doo-wop pop.
That was the moment. That was what I couldn't find the tweet, but somebody was like, when Tony sang.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Tony got up there with all the dramatics that Tamar left behind. I love you. I love you. My man. I love you. I love you. Like,
I didn't want it to work. That way, you got me worried about you. Cause I already had your man. What do you think? 7 whole.
Okay, we can stop right there, because that's when
I'm sorry.
They kept talking about this star-studded tribute. Let me tell you something. That tribute was many things, but it was not star-studded. Okay, no. I don't even know who Ro James is. Who is Ro James?
I have no freaking clue. Now, the white girl did well though.
Jessie J. Now, I knew that she would not disappoint me, because Jessie J sings.
Had no clue who she was.
I don't know if I would have picked that song for her, but she still wore it out. She did.
She did her thing.
And then here come Luke James, Lord Jesus, with his hoop earring. He had this Hootie and the Blowfish hoop earring. I was trying to figure out exactly what was happening there, and he had on a mesh shirt.
Dan, the man in a hoop earring.
Break my heart. He was just doing a lot. Anita Baker and Tony Braxton, neither one of them close their mouth.
Neither one of them closes their mouth.
That's what's up. But yeah, I think we skipped a lot of things. Maybe we didn't, though, because the only thing I can think of that we didn't cover was Keisha Cole's A Smooth Criminal.
I'm absolutely cool with
we don't have to talk about that. The Cypher was a good time.
Yes.
Fantasia, Bilal, Faith Evans, and Molly Music, and Robert Glasper. That was an awesome time. Whom else? Oh, the 112 reunion.
Love Robert Glasper.
We do love Robert Glasper. 112 reunion. Let me tell you something. As I said in Barbados, I think that I don't want to hear new music from 112. Is that terrible to say?
Never. Not at all.
I was sitting there watching them perform this newer song, and it was just like, but it was when they hit when they went into what is this numbers in your pocket? That's when things really turned around for me.
I told when you. So Keia went off to the TV room because everybody knows Keia loves
Oh my
TV.
gosh. Y'all knew that's where they were going to find me.
So she was the first person to start turned Soul Train Awards on, and you could hear it from the dinner table. So when 112 was singing, I turned to Asante. I told him a story. There was this girl who I went to school with, and she was not from here. She had a very heavy accent, and she used to sing the 112 song. And she used to go, "What are these numbers in your pocket?"
What is wrong with you?
I used to die.
Why would she do that?
I
That's
don't
not even how
know.
the song goes.
I don't know.
Young lady. Okay. Let us move forward. You are tickled.
Ooh, they used
It's
to
pretty
do,
funny,
they used to
though.
tickle me. Naya Rivera beat her husband's ass.
Why?
Got arrested because he said she was drunk.
Was she?
And she has a problem.
Well, she might.
I don't know. I don't think that girl's wrapped too tight. That's the same one.
Well,
who
I
said
knew she wasn't
don't
wrapped
take baths
tight.
on a daily basis.
She said what now?
She don't take baths every day.
Oh, hell.
It's not good for you or something. Then she said she was joking, but that you ain't joking.
She wasn't joking. I mean,
You're
quiet as
dead,
a skep,
actually.
I knew that she wasn't. I mean, even on the Glee, I thought that she was.
She's. If you look in her eyes, there's something.
You know what I'm
wrong
saying?
there.
I didn't want to go there, but I mean, like something in my spirit kicked
Nah.
up. Like
Mm-mm.
something ain't right here.
You gotta look in the eyes. Anytime you look in the eyes and it's empty, then you know there's always it's people with light eyes and it's niggas with light eyes really, and then it is people. There's this empty look.
You got to be careful with those slide eyes.
You gotta be real careful with the light
trying
eyes.
to
Tread lightly.
trying to get you.
Tread lightly. No pun intended. But
yeah,
with those empty eyes,
So she like literally beat him up.
Yeah, I guess she like put hands on him and he called the police. It was like, my wife's out of control.
Oh.
And she got arrested.
Isn't this the man?
And go look at.
She married him like super quick. Like what? Didn't he? Wasn't she like dating that other young man? And then
The one who Janae Aiko has tattooed on her arm. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes. Small Sean. He. Yeah, she was with him.
I was trying to think of his name.
That's it right there.
Isn't it Big Sean?
And it's Small Sean.
He is Small Sean, but his name is Big Sean. Right? We don't have to talk about it. Janae Aiko has that young man tattooed on her.
You didn't see that?
I can't even listen to her. I don't even know what she be talking about, y'all. I just wanted her to speak up all the time. I just want to be like, clear your throat and say it one more time because I don't know what you're saying, sis.
Like, no, you have to get because it's.
All that mumbling. I just can't. That mumbling, I can't deal with it. I don't know what that lady is talking about. Like, what are you saying, sis? I can't.
It's like Janet Jackson all over again. But no, I'm not a Janae Aiko fan. The only thing I want to hear her on is "It's a Vibe" because I love 2 Chainz. But yeah, and then
It's a Vibe
because it's a vibe. That's her on the song.
But I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't even know she was on it until I like read the thing. Because you
thought it was the girl, right?
I just thought that it was just a part of the track. I didn't think it was just like.
It's always a girl. Like there's like you got Thuggish Ruggish Bone. The only reason we know her name was Tasha is because she said her name was Tasha. But if she didn't say it, she would have just been the girl on the song.
I was like, okay. I didn't know that she had a job. That's fine. I mean, I want the people to work. It's cool. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I prefer you work than not. And because we covered it before, Jennifer Hudson.
We got a little update.
Yeah. Tell them.
So apparently, Jennifer Hudson has dropped the order of protection from her fiance, David Otunga. And David wins custody. He won custody of their son, so David Jr. They had a formal custody agreement or hearing, and he now is the custodial parent. Mainly because Jennifer is currently flying back and forth between London and the U.S. to do The Voice and The Voice UK. So the baby, David Jr., is with his father most of the time. And as such, David was awarded full custody. And the holidays must have been, hopefully during the holidays, they got together and were able to have a conversation because, you know, Jenny has since dropped the order of protection. So I'm hoping that they could at least move forward to being amicable co-parents.
I mean, I just can't. So I have a real problem with that spiteful take your kids out of the father's life when you're upset situation. And like, because there's enough niggas out there who are not doing anything for their kids. So when you have the spiteful situations, those actually really piss me off.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I agree. I mean, it's just hard. This is just hard. I can imagine it being a very challenging dynamic.
Absolutely, but why don't willingly take kids out of one of their parents' lives? Like, that's not right.
I mean, it's. I mean, I can relate to like being the child trapped in the middle. So that's why I'm just saying it's a very, very difficult thing.
But there's levels to it, because there is keeping your kids out of harmful situations,
right?
But there are also people who, like, I'm strictly talking about people who keep kids out of a parent's life out of spite,
right? Which is
that's the one that I have the issue with. Like, I understand if if you have a parent who has a drug addiction or a drinking problem and it puts the children in harm's way, you have to do what's best for your kids. But there are also situations where you have parents who are great parents. You have fathers, you have mothers who are great parents, and because you have an issue with them, you keep that kid, and that ain't right, because you're not doing anything but harming that child. So anyway, that's just my little soapbox. I'm gonna get off my little soapbox.
Man. I concur.
You have any more trash, or you?
I think we're good on trash. I do. I think we can move forward into shout out to my sis.
Hey, one of my faves.
Oh.
My sis is popping right now, like.
Shout out to my sis.
Shout out to my sisters and my brothers.
But literally our sisters this week.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, this week we're going to be shouting out a young group of women known as the Fourtress 4. We got an email from Kiara, and I will read it. It says, "Hi, Jade and Keia. I hope you are well. First and foremost, thank you for creating the Gettin Grown podcast. I truly enjoy the personal stories and knowledge you ladies share about surviving adulthood. As of recent, your 2 episodes about growing up Black and creating a personal board of directors were right on time as it relates to each of us. I'm writing to shout out the Fourtress, a social space my roommates and I created that is dedicated to inspiring, empowering, and unifying women of color. We're 4 20-somethings who are living in Brooklyn and navigating adulting while sharing our individual and collective glow up with our followers. Each day we post original content that centers around beauty, politics, wellness, and style. And I would like to invite you ladies and your listeners to follow the Fourtress. It's filled with melanin magic that won't disappoint. Thank you so much again for creating such a wonderful podcast. I cannot wait to see the next step Gettin Grown has planned. Best, Kiara."
LOL, she said 420 somethings. Ha!
You are so childish. Oh my gosh. But thank you, Kiara. Is it Kiara? I hope I'm saying it somewhat right. But we were able to check out the Fourtress. We will leave the link in the description box. We thought it was a super cute website featuring 4 adorable, beautiful Black women.
So cute. Yes.
Who are all doing awesome things and put together this really cute, really polished, really clean and classic website where they share different things via their Instagram about the different aspects of their lives. But our favorite part of the Fourtress is a project that the young ladies are doing called Project Queen Bee. The mission of this work
is a packing party.
Yes, indeed. They had a packing party for Project Queen Bee, but Project Queen Bee is a New York City community service initiative that works to provide feminine products to women experiencing homelessness. Monetary donations will be used to purchase feminine products for the coalition for the homeless. The Fourtress strives to uplift women and showcase the importance of giving back. And they have on their website a page where donations can be made for the purpose of creating these period packs to be distributed to women who are experiencing homelessness in the New York City area. And we just thought that was such a noble and awesome cause that we wanted to feature the Fourtress, the women of the Fourtress, on Shout Out to My Sis, and encourage you all to check them out. And if you can, make a donation. A $5 donation creates a period pack, and anything more than that, of course, contributes to the cause all the more as well.
It goes such a long way. I mean, just imagine just imagine being a woman and the issues that we have to deal with, and you being a homeless woman and having to try to navigate every single month how you're going to take care of yourself. So Keia and I thought this was really, really awesome. We'll definitely put the information in the description box. But for those, I'll just say really quickly, who are in the New York City area, on December 9th, they're going to have the packing party where they actually pack up the feminine products for the women's experience for homelessness at Cafe Erzuli. I hope I'm saying that right, which is 894 Broadway in Brooklyn. It's on Saturday, December 9th from 6:30 to 9 o'clock. I think that is an absolutely amazing venture. I might even try to make it out myself.
Awesome.
So definitely make sure that, like Keia said, kick the link. Even if you're not in the area, $5 will help to create a period pack for somebody out there who really needs it. And then if you are in the New York area, try to make it out to the packing party and also bring your donations along with you, and you have until November 30th. So the link will be in the description.
Totally. And shout out to the ladies of the Fourtress, Candace, Kiera, and London. You guys are doing awesome work.
Yes.
And we're proud of you. Thank you guys for listening to Getting Grown. And y'all check them out and support.
Please.
All right, boys and girls, let's gather around the kitchen table for this week's edition of Kitchen Table Talk. Before we get into the meat of the matter, sis, what are you snacking on?
Ham sandwiches. I didn't get to eat my Thanksgiving leftovers because we left the very next day.
Yum.
So ham does not go bad. I'm sure it does.
It doesn't.
Not now.
But it doesn't taste bad. Or
So I'm eating a ham sandwich.
ain't nobody mad, man.
And a seltzer water. And a pickle.
Yes, a ham sandwich and a pickle. Bring me on
Hell
back.
yeah, you gotta make sure you toast that bread. And put a little butter in there. If you're not worried about health if you're eating a ham sandwich. And then,
Did you glaze your ham?
Oh, I sure did. Of course I glazed it. I made a glaze of whiskey, brown sugar, honey, a little bit of spices, not too much, and some fresh orange. And put that up on the stove, mix that up, and then I poured it over the ham and put it in the oven.
Well, that sounds delightful. Delightful.
Delicious.
I don't have any.
What are you snacking on?
I don't have any good snacks. Just got back last night, super late. So I don't have anything here. I literally had a.
And you've been gone.
I've been gone. Like I ain't been.
You've
I ain't
been
been in my
gone.
house in a long time. But so there was actually nothing here in the refrigerator but some almond milk. So I got a box of cereal on my way in the house today when I was leaving work.
Amen.
So I had a bowl of cereal, and now I'm just drinking some of this seltzer water.
I'm drinking lemon seltzer water.
I'm drinking pineapple coconut seltzer water.
Oh, you're drinking La Croix.
La Croix.
La Croix. I'm just drinking the Whole Foods 365
That's pretty good.
lemon
pretty good
sparkling
stuff.
water.
It's pretty good. Seltzer water. Hopefully I don't because seltzer water makes me burp. So hopefully I won't burp in the microphone because that would be gross.
Why? That's Getting Grown. Adulting and it's relatable.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Anyway.
So yes, on here around the kitchen table today, we're going to be talking about gifts because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
My favorite.
Okay, so we're going to talk about gifts. We're going to talk about gifts, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about some of the best and worst gifts that Jade and I have received and some of the best and worst gifts that we've given. Then we're going to talk about, we're going to just toss around some gift ideas, for shopping for kids, gift ideas for bae, and gift ideas for if you're exchanging gifts amongst your groups of friends. And we will probably end and close out the conversation by just kind of talking through some of the things that are on our personal wish list.
Yes.
For the upcoming holiday season. So I guess we'll start off by talking about the best gift that you have ever received, Jade. What is the best gift that you've ever received?
But that trip to Barbados.
You are so stupid.
I have, I don't have one gift that I have. I could be real corny and be like, oh, my kid.
Nah.
But
That's funny.
Since we're talking about actual gifts.
Don't do Noah like that.
I'm not doing her like that. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to stay on task. So, and not be a cop-out. So I've gotten a few really good gifts. My husband got me for Mother's Day one year a double waffle iron.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can make 2 damn waffles at the same damn time. I was like, You bought this
exactly.
for yourself,
That's what I was
but
going
it's
to ask you. Like, as a wife, because I remember my grandmother kirking out. I sound like one of the young people. But I remember her going crazy because one year, this was many years ago, because my grandfather got a microwave and wrapped it up in a box and like he addressed it to her. So she thought it was her gift. And she opened it up and she was like, this is not for me. This is for the house. This is for all of you. This is not a gift for me. So I don't know. Like, is that something that like happens often?
Well, no, it probably does. But in my particular case, my husband knows that I love all things kitchen.
Right.
And so it really was a really amazing gift. Because I'd been talking about how I love waffles and I wanted to make waffles and I didn't have a waffle iron, and he bought me a double waffle iron. So it served, multiple purposes. And then I got this really cute box from Dubai. My friend lives out there, Whitney, and she got me a really cute box that has our wedding date written in Arabic, but etched with like fire because it's made out of wood. So that was a really dope gift. Fran this year got me a cider kit, how to make homemade like cider, like beer.
That is so like right up your street.
I know. So that's one of the best gifts. And then my husband, he gives me like super thoughtful gifts. Like I remember one time I was just talking about a few things that I just needed to get for myself. I needed to re-up on a perfume that I really liked at the time. I used to wear a lot of Dolce & Gabbana, the one. And I needed a new jean jacket. It was like a few things that I needed. And he showed up to my job with a gift bag, and it had like all of the things that I had been saying that I needed to get. He had gotten them and brought it to me at work just because it wasn't for any event. So
those are the best gifts. Gifts that are thoughtful and like in the way that like shows. If you buy me a gift that shows me that you have been paying attention to what I say, like if you like, you know what I'm saying? I think that those are the best gifts. Like if I tell you that, I don't know, like the best gifts for me are always like, I'm thinking of that book, Love Language and Acts of Service. Mm-hmm. That's how you get me. That right there. If you listen to me, like I can think of one time I was dating somebody, complaining all the time about like how just coming back and forth from work. At the time, I was driving from work and my commute was a little long, and how the gas was just eating up my car, and I was just spending all my money at the gas station, I should say, and just complaining, not necessarily for somebody to do something, but just saying like, gas is high as hell. Just kind of like how we always complain. And the best gift is I got in the car one day and that gas tank was full and I didn't fill it up. Jesus.
That is, oh my God.
You want to talk about like,
you want to talk about
honey,
adulting?
You want to, hello? Like, hello? You better get out of my face.
Yo. That is nice.
So
like,
nice,
that's one of
right?
the things where it just makes you feel
it's like
full. Like your gas
heard me. Like, you heard me. Like, I used to have this nameplate. I love nameplates. Y'all know I wear one every day. But when I was young and petty, I used to, like, just get different words, not just my name. So, like, this was not even hood rat stuff, but just like really deep. Because this is why I used to watch like Iyanla Starting Over House, and I used to just be really deep about being, surrounding myself, affirming words and those kinds of things. And I had this nameplate, and it said "help" on it, right? Because I just felt like I just felt like as
you were drawn to Rhonda.
I just feel like I work hard. I always do that. I've always been a really hard worker, and I don't ask for help. I'm actually averse to asking for help. So I was wearing the nameplate to kind of, just kind of get myself in a space where I would not be averse to asking for help and not wanting to carry the burdens of doing all the stuff by myself. Apparently, I mean,
that's smart.
Clearly it didn't work because I still take on too much. I still do too much. I still don't ask people for help. But at the time I was wearing this nameplate that said "help." And it's just like, I just love that kind of attentive, like, not even just in relationships, like dating relationships, but like in partnerships, like thoughtful friends who know, who think of certain things. Girl, I remember what you was doing. I know you had to do this, that, and that. Keisha used to all the time, especially when I was in school, writing or working or whatever. Like, it would be nothing for Keisha to just be like, especially since she lived right around the corner from school, she would be like, come by the house. I made lunch. Like, I made lunch. Come by the house and get you something to eat.
And people don't realize how small that is. I mean, how big that is to you.
Bless me, girl. You don't even really know.
How did you know I didn't have any money today?
Like, what a gift you are. Thank you.
God,
oh my
thank
God.
You so much.
So yeah, help and those kind of attentive things. Those are always going to be for me like the best gifts ever. Mm-hmm. And they're not all.
You know who's good with those kind of gifts? Those helpful gifts? She's going to be so mad at me for saying it.
Who?
Crystal Jean.
I knew you were going to do that.
Crystal Jean is like, I'm not going to put all her business out in the streets, but she is the clutchest of the clutches. I mean, you want to talk about a friend who listens to what you're going through and will just do something astronomical to help you out.
Not even astronomical, but something small. But she's just a. And then, I mean, it's good. I mean,
but it's always small to her because she'd be like, "Oh, girl,
exactly." But even dipping back into a conversation that we had previously about like the kind of friends that you are, the kind of friends you want to be. Like, I'm grateful for having access to people like Keisha and Crystal and Leslie and Pam and Toya, like all my friends who are, Tania, people who have that natural, generous kind of giving spirit, and give with intention. So yeah, those are totally like just awesome qualities to have. So, and that's why I'm talking about this now, because I was trying to think about the best gift that I've ever received. And I don't know, but those kind of small kind of things are the most memorable. So sure, things that you like, material things that I've really wanted, whether it be like a pair of sneakers or a jacket or a bag or something. And she get a gift like that, and it's just like, oh wow, this is dope. But you wear it and that value depreciates. But those little things that people do for me, it's like, I don't forget that. Right.
Those are long.
It's like, I don't forget that kind of stuff. I don't forget that kind of stuff at all.
And I can't put all of those gifts out there, but I have received so many of them that I'm super grateful for.
Totally.
And we don't want to make the people feel bad also, as we're speaking about gifts, and we are speaking about monetary gifts a lot because it is the holiday season, so it's in context. We also want you to know right off the bat, as we're talking about this, that for those there are people out there who can't afford to give gifts.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, Keisha making me lunch is not right. It's not breaking the bank, but like,
it's not breaking the bank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
there are things that you can do,
and or there's like, somebody's stressed, somebody's going through it. You can give a gift of like, let me come over and help you clean your house. Like, I know that you've been going through it. Like, as your friend, let me come over and help you clean your crib. Like, this is my Christmas gift to you. Let me come help you, redo your storage room, paint your wall. Like, it's just the act of giving, period, that means the most to people. And it's those things that people really truly remember, the meaning behind why you did something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, the thing, and I'm looking now, I have this two friends from undergrad, Tennille and Jessica, two friends in lieu of graduation gifts, or as graduation gifts, I should say. Both of them typed up like a letter. Tennille's was more of a poem, but Jessica's was more of a letter. But both of them typed up messages to me and framed them. And I still have them in my house today. Like the frame probably cost $10, but the sentiment is like, I literally can look at it. I've been out of college for well over 15 years now, but I still have that up in my house. Not because it costs $1 million, but because like, dang, like she sat down and thought about these things. And I mean, I can still read it today, and it has all of the inside jokes that we used to make back in 2001. And I still laugh, you know what I'm saying? Because those are the kinds of things that you don't you don't forget. Those are those kind of meaningful, lasting, impactful kind of gifts. And those are the kind of gifts that I want to give because I feel like those are the best gifts. Man, listen.
Best ones.
So okay, let's flip the coin and talk about the worst gift that you've ever received, sis. What is the worst? What's the gift that you received and you was just like, Jesus Christ, what am I supposed to do with this?
Okay. There's two. First one, and I'm sorry to do this. I hate to do this, but it's from one of my exes.
Of course it is.
And it's not because he's my ex or anything, but I'm going to explain why. He gave me a diamond bracelet.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful bracelet. And I'm going to tell you why it's one of the worst gifts that I've ever received. It was a beautiful bracelet. He did it in a very, cute way. But I don't wear diamonds. I'm not a diamond girl. Not to say that I wasn't appreciative, but there is nothing about me that says diamonds. My wedding ring is not even a diamond. Like,
true.
I have no desire, no interest in diamonds whatsoever. And anybody who pays attention to me and knows me knows I have no interest in diamonds. And one reason why my husband's gifts are, even if they're not huge, and he's coming like, I bought you a car, his gifts mean so much to me because he listens to the things that I talk about and then he puts them into action. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that he is paying attention. If you buy me a diamond bracelet, I feel like you are just trying to shut me up. And you know what I'm saying? And it didn't help that, it like he was cheating at the time as well. So that doesn't help. But it was one of the worst gifts I've ever received because it's not me. Like, at all. Like, it's not me at all. There's nothing about me that has ever said, I am waiting for a diamond bracelet. Oh, that's so beautiful. I want that. Nothing about me. So that shows that you're not paying attention. And so that came to mind. And then, oh, Lord, my mother used to go to China all the time.
Come on, China.
She used to go to China quite often. And this lady would come back with so many things. And two of the things she would come back with in multiples were fake uptowns.
Duh.
And she kept trying to get us to wear these uptowns. And me and my sister would be like, these are not real, Ma. And she's like, yes, they are, because this is where they're made in the first place. I just bought them straight. We just skipped the middleman.
Bless her heart.
And I'm like, but Ma, do you look at the R? It's not right. She kept trying to get us to wear these fake Chinese uptowns. It was the worst. It was the worst. She meant well, but it was the worst.
Man.
What about you?
I mean, I just keep it going the same vein. So I had, you grew up in the church and there are often adults and older people who look out for you, right? Because you get like this great extended family. You just have all of these extra aunties and uncles that you see on a weekly basis and they just look out for you and it's amazing. So I had a whole bunch of those growing up, right? Just awesome men and women who took a liking to me and to my brother, and they would just look out for us. Give us $1 here or there, $5 here or there during the week or whatever. But on the holidays time, around the holidays time, you could often expect to receive a Christmas gift from them. Not necessarily anything big, but, a gift. And because you have cultivated a relationship with this person, you want to do right by me. You want to be appreciative and grateful for the gift. But, and that's all well and dandy if the gift is an amazing gift or if it's a good gift or a decent gift, a practical gift even. But if the gift is a terrible gift, it's a lot of pressure, right? So one of my play aunties down to the church 1 year. Now, okay, I'm going to paint the picture. This woman was a little older. And this is going to sound shadier than I mean it, but kind of like homely, not flashy, kind of just plain Jane, just real, nothing.
I don't know what homely means.
Yeah, nothing really. She never looked dirty or unkempt or anything like that, but just like not.
Did she wear like sunset stockings with white shoes?
No, she didn't do that. She wasn't that bad. Oh. But more kind of so like, just kind of like real real kind of basic in the nicest way that you can say that about a person, right? Just real basic in her fashions. And that's fine.
Like real dress barn.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And one year.
And her shoes come from what's the Shoe Bazaar place? It's like a low budget DSW. It's like a low budget DSW. Shoe Carnival.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Is?
I can see the place in my head, but I can't call the name.
Yeah.
I do.
But you know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, think along.
Like a famous
footwear. That's it. That's it right there. So it appeared to me, okay, so she gave me a gift one year and it was a fake Louis Vuitton bag. Now, in my mind, I was just like, it is clear that somebody gifted Mrs. So-and-so with this fake Louis Vuitton bag and she don't know what to do with it. So she was like, oh, I'll give it to Keia. She'll wear it. Now, I just don't believe that she saw this fake bag somewhere and purchased it. Now, I could be wrong, but this is the kind of justification that I came up with in my own mind to make myself feel better. Still in all, it was one of the worst gifts that I've ever received because I felt terrible because I refused to carry the bag because it was not only counterfeit, but it was hideous. And so I wouldn't carry it. But I felt bad because I felt like she would be looking for it. Like she would see me at church and she would just kind of like linger around and look like, oh, Keia, you're not wearing the bag. Oh, Keia, not wearing the bag. And it was just terrible because
you bought this off of the street.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad.
You bought this off of a sheet.
I wish that she would not have done that, but it was one of the worst gifts that I've ever received because I felt like this pressure to have it. So I never threw it away. And I kind of kept it in my closet, but I refused to wear it.
Do you still have it though?
No, it's gone. It's gone.
It went to a farm.
I think I probably gave it to Goodwill, like one of my closet purges from many years ago. I was just like, y'all have a good time with this because I couldn't use it. And I felt it was so liberating. Like I kept the bag until I moved from New York. So
you kept it for a minute.
I kept the bag till I moved from New York because I was just like, one day, I don't know. I just feel like I would need to have it. So if she would ask me for it, I could still be able to say that I had it. But when I was moving, it was just like, oh, I can get rid of this now. Another one of the worst gifts I've ever received. It's going to be real shallow, but it's along the lines of yours as well in terms of like just someone who's not listening and not paying attention. Another kind of, I might have talked about this before, but I came home. This is right around, I don't know. I don't think it was Valentine's Day because that was like too cliche. I feel like it was like leading up to my birthday. Came home to my apartment and opened the door and it was about 42 billion rose petals thrown all over my house because somebody was trying to be romantical. And I get it, okay? Like, because that's what you see on TV. And I guess that's what niggas think that you want them to do. But I had an anxiety attack. Like, I couldn't even.
Like, this is going to get caught in my vacuum.
So I couldn't even. And I tried, like, I can't even say I tried. I know in my mind, it did cross my mind to be like, you know, maybe you should be, like, just say thank you and just kind of deal with this. But F that. I lost it. I just had one question for your boy. Who is going to clean this up? Who is going to clean this up? Because you have literally throw up. Like it was like 93 rose bushes threw up in my home.
Oh, it's always funny.
And I was just like, my nigga, I know what you're trying to do, but the answer is no. Don't give me a gift that's going to create work for me. Especially now, if this is
me a gift.
Maybe I would have had a lot less anxiety about it if I knew the person that I was dealing with at the time was considerate and, you know, that dude that would like make sure, like go out of his way to make sure that I was okay. But I knew who I was dealing with here. So I knew that after the yummy with the yummy, this nigga was going to go to sleep and leave me in this home with 87 bajillion rose petals. And I'm just like, nah. What we got to do is get these out of my house right now. I'm sorry.
Immediately while you're here.
Like, you are going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I will help you, but I will not be able to rest and even appreciate or any of the other things, aspects of this celebration. I will not be able to do it until all of these rose petals are removed. They must go. I don't care. And I'm just, and then I got to thinking like, my nigga, you spent how much money on these rose petals? What? Like, come on. Right. Like now you're not even being like, come on. If you got these, we could have sat down in a restaurant and ate up these rose petals. We could have ate this.
Like, there's only so many rose blunts that I can roll.
You understand what girl? I was just like,
yeah.
I was just like, okay. All right.
Don't do that. I'm so glad my husband will never do that.
I mean, I know. I mean, and if for all of the fairy tale queens who live in the land of romantic things. And
let's just crush that for a second. Just remember who's going to have to clean that shit up.
I'm always a very practical person. And I'm just thinking like, I know that I'm going to have to, it's going to take me all afternoon to clean this house up. And I just don't have that to do.
Yeah, do that shit in a hotel room where you don't have to touch it.
I mean,
I bet maids hate
because I mean, rose petals stain. If you just rose petals stain, I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm not gonna get my security deposit back because all these goddamn rose petals on this white carpet. We got to do something. We got to act fast. We've got to act fast.
I know they're moist and they're gonna leave their residue.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, the time of the year is cold and moist and damp outside. What are the chances? What are the odds? I just don't want to. It's cool.
Well, let's get into maybe the best gift that you've ever given. What do you feel like the best gift you've ever given has been?
I don't know, man. This is a hard question for me. I like to be very thoughtful in my gift giving. Biggest reaction, I guess you could say, is my mom. I bought her a necklace that it's like a nameplate necklace because I wear them all the time, clearly, and she's always. But I bought her the nameplate necklace and it has me and my brother's name on it. And she was all emotional about that. For obvious reasons. But yeah, I think that was a really, if I'm thinking as far as like reaction. But I like to, it's hard for me because, I like to take care, especially if I'm like dating somebody. I'm the kind of person that's going to buy stuff all the time. Not necessarily for the sake of like, oh, I bought you gifts or whatever. But like, I think about if I'm with you and I care about you and I see something and I like it and I like it for you, I'm going to get it and give it to you because that's just how my mind works. So I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of pinpoint one particular time where I gave an awesome gift.
What's the worst gift you've ever given?
Probably like a Starbucks gift card. I just think like if I give you so like because I would give you a Starbucks gift card because I know that you drink coffee, and that would probably like make your day in terms of like, I'm thinking on a day where you don't got no cash, you got this gift card, I'm going to get my coffee.
Brown.
I would get that for you. And it would be a thoughtful gift. But the person who I got the Starbucks gift card for was because I didn't really know what else to get them. And I just kind of guessed. I'm just kind of like assuming that people like Starbucks. I mean, just because it was the worst gift I've ever given because I just literally didn't put any thought into it. It was just really last minute and just like, I got to get something, so I'm going to get this.
I think the best gift I've ever given, I do try to be thoughtful. I'm not an amazing gift giver, but I do try to be thoughtful. But my husband one year, he was talking about a whole bunch of stuff that he wanted. And he needed a wallet really, really bad. And I remember him looking like at Burberry wallets, and I didn't think I'd be able to buy him a Burberry wallet, but I found one, and his favorite color was blue, because that was and and I can put all his business out there. And I like your little giggle though. So I got him this really dope blue Burberry wallet, so it wasn't that obnoxious print. that's there all the time, but it was still the signature Burberry. It was still the signature print, but it was all this like all leather and all blue, so it wasn't all those colors and stuff. And then I got him like a pair of like boots. Like I just got him a bunch of things that he said he wanted and took him out for like some drinks with some friends and things like that. But then I wanted to give him something really thoughtful, so I put together this. I got a composition notebook, a whole bunch of like paint markers and color pencils and crayons and glue. And I did a craft project, which I hate doing. I'm not a crafty person. And I basically had saved like all these little things over time that we had done, like stubs from the zoo and like all kinds of stuff. And I put them in the book. And then I found pictures that we'd taken like through Instagram and got them all printed and made like a thing.
This is so like Hallmark movie.
It was very mush. It was very oatmeal. It was very...
You're funny.
And then the worst gift I've ever given for my parents' anniversary one year, like my dad was a huge Seinfeld. My dad loved Seinfeld. Like he loved Seinfeld. So me and my sister got all of these burned DVDs of Seinfeld burned because we couldn't afford the real box set.
Christ.
I don't even know if they had the box set at the time. They probably did. But we got these burned DVDs of like, I think like the first 3 seasons of Seinfeld. And I remember my dad get it. And my dad is like brutally honest. And he got it and he opened it. And we was hyped. We thought he was going to be real hype about it. And he was like, these are not even the funniest seasons.
Over it.
Yeah. I was like,
over it.
Really?
Over it.
That's your reaction?
Mm-hmm.
So, and while he's right, I still was like, that is so ungrateful. That is super ungrateful. So, yeah, that was probably the worst gift that I've ever given, just because my dad's reaction was absolutely crushing.
That is so funny.
But let's switch to the Secret Santa, or just gift giving in general, and what you think is really good for kids, bae, friends.
Gift ideas. So if you, I guess I should ask you this because you have a child, but
yeah.
I guess I wanted to talk, just kind of throw out some gift ideas for those of us who might be struggling with what to get gifts. What to get our loved ones, like what gifts to get our loved ones this holiday season. When it comes to children, my favorite things to give, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, right?
Books.
That's it. I'm that
favorite gift.
I am that auntie. I will get your child books, honey, all the books. And so yeah, I think that there are awesome book subscriptions. So yes. I don't know. I can pull together some lists or whatever, or maybe I'll think of some things to put in the description box. But one of the things that I have done for the children in my life that I care about, well, I do care about all children, but the ones who I buy gifts for, I guess, I will pay for a subscription for like 6 months or a year or so, and for a child to get a book a month for a year. And that'll be a good gift for me. And then I could check in and see how the book is going, what books tell me about the book. And those are the kinds of gifts that I love to get. And I also love to get puzzles. I feel like there's a lost art.
I love puzzles.
Putting jigsaw puzzles together is a lost art. And these millennial children, or they're not even millennial children. They are, what's the generation after them?
I forget. Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all know. We talked about it.
Z.
Generation Z. Is that it? Maybe that's Generation Z. Generation Z, they, everything is all electronic and in the cloud and on the web. But I do feel like it's just great to sit down at a table and put together a jigsaw puzzle. It's like something it's therapeutic.
It teaches them patience,
problem solving, and critical thinking, not even just analytical thinking.
It's
just
your
so
brain.
Good, right? So, and be challenging. I will give I will give, if your child is 6 and up, I will give your child 100, 200 piece puzzle and put that joint together. Let me see it. Take a picture when it's done.
And
indeed,
do it as a family.
Indeed. That's one of the things me and my mom did. Like right after Brian passed, that was kind of like when you just couldn't talk about anything, just kind of wanted to be there with one another, but you just didn't know what to say. We literally went to the Dollar Tree and bought like 8 puzzles. Like some of them 500, some of them 500 words, some of them 500 pieces, some of them 200, whatever. But we would sit at the table and put these puzzles together, and that's what we did. Also like coloring books, word books, like word searches, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, all that stuff. I'm old, so
things that are going to use the brain.
That's the kind of stuff I like to get. Stationery, books, like you can get all that stuff from Marshall's for $5 right by the register. You get your little journal and some pens, and tell the girls to just write in your journal, write a letter once a week.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be about anything. Hopefully we need to get young people in the practice of, doing that kind of stuff, because it will serve them later on in life. And they're going to have plenty of time for, all the other stuff. But these are the kind of, I feel like such an old lady for saying this, but like, these are the kind of,
Nah, but it's real though. 'Cause having a kid in this generation, they are super like tech driven. And Noah could operate an iPhone at like 1. It was dumb.
She could.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really stressed about that.
She would literally go in the bag and get it out.
She'll get your phone out, and she used her little pointer finger.
And she would hand it to me and say, games. I don't got no games, Noah. You ever had no game?
She used to give people their phone and say, "What's your passcode?" Like she would, and it was disgusting. I was like, "How do you?" The fact that you even know that somebody needs to unlock this so that you could get busy in this phone real quick is crazy. And so that's why we try to really limit. We try to limit her as much as we can. Now it's really hard. It's hard during this day and age to limit them, which is why I think Keia's suggestions are really great. Last year we got her numerous things, but one thing I made sure growing up, I loved the Berenstain Bears.
I had all
of them. Those were my jams.
Do they still make them?
They do.
Okay, awesome.
And I think they've also, because I feel like back in the day they used to be a little religious, maybe, and some people had a problem with that.
Really?
I don't remember them being religious, but
I don't remember them being religious either.
I've been told that, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I always knew them to like teach, just manners and shit.
Right.
Like ways of life, like don't be a bully and be a good person, and the golden rule and things like that. But I had every Berenstain Bear book ever made, and even before we had them, we would go to the library and we would read them. We'd walk to the library. We'd go visit my great grandparents in Connecticut, and we walk to the library because there was literally nothing to do, and read books. And so I got Noah like tons of Berenstain Bear books because they now have a cartoon as well, and she was into that as a baby. So I got her all a good amount of the books, not all of them, but a good amount of the books, and then also other books because I'm real big on like little black girl books. I love my hair, I love myself, just things to build self-esteem because I think that's super pointed. And then like other stuff she wanted. But for Fury's toy drive, I was like, I don't know what to, like, I can't go out and buy like Mad Cabbage Patch Dolls or American Girls or whatever. I have no clue what kids play with, even having a kid. I don't know what they want. So, but I know what they need. And I wasn't going to give a bunch of books and stuff for the toy drive, but I did go and I bought like just a bunch of things that we enjoyed as kids, like jacks and jump rope and dice and, cards and balls and just like puzzles and coloring books and crayons. And I just got a whole bunch of like stuff like that. 'Cause I'm like, kids need to be kids. It's very important that kids are kids. And I really remember and enjoy playing with things. And like, we didn't have all the tech stuff. So we had to use our imagination. And I think that kids it's a lost art. So I thought it would be really nice to get them some things that would keep them busy and help them to be kids. So I always think that's really good gifts too. Just buying a bunch of things that they can play with
Do
and
kids
stimulate.
play?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry. And I'm saying, do they play? No, I'm saying, do they play like board games and Uno and stuff like we used to play?
Well, I can't say yet because Noah's only 4, so she just destroys most of the games that are in this house. She has taken and of course, as I'm sitting here talking, I'm about to be a complete hypocrite. We bought that damn Monopoly thing with the credit cards because we wanted to see how it was. But we don't play it because the girl has taken all of the pieces, spread them about the house like I don't like dust. And then she now like takes the credit card machine and that's her little she like slides the credit card and pretends like she's shopping and shit like that. So I'm really
Bless her heart. It's cool though. She's still young.
Yes. What about some good gifts for friends?
So, okay. About, cause I'm thinking like, you know, a couple of my friends and I are doing Secret Santa and, that kind of thing. And I think of things that I would want to receive a Secret Santa, and I kind of use that as my gauge for what things I want to buy. And I'm not trying to be selfish. I'm just trying to say like, what would I use and really appreciate? And that kind of helps me think along the lines of what other people might appreciate. So a big one for me is again services, like gift certificate for services. So I'm really good for giving you a gift certificate to get your toes done, or you know, go get a facial, or you know, go get your hair colored or something on me. Those are some of my favorite things to do. Because especially around the holiday times, like we are spending money. So a lot of times that I know for me, I often forego some of the things that I usually do for myself because I'm buying gifts for other people. So if someone gives me $30 and say, "Hey girl, go get your hair washed," and I'm like, "I sure will. Thank you." Yeah. So yeah, I also love to give books away to adults as well. And I guess I got this idea from one of our listeners who was so nice. I can't think of her name right now, but we had a listener. I can try to pull it up, but we had a listener who gifted us with the Audible version of Jennifer Lewis's book.
Yes.
So
thank you so
awesome.
much.
I'm gonna find your name and look at. I'm not prepared. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. But yes, you're amazing. And that Audible.com actually has a service where you can buy Audible versions of books and share them or send them to friends as gifts. And I think that that's just so cool because I mean, everyone's listening to podcasts, audiobooks, like it's so much easier. And it's literally like you can send somebody something instantly. It's not something that you have to like wait for shipping or anything like that. It's like, oh, I want so-and-so. Right. I think so-and-so will love this book. And literally in seconds, I can send her a copy of the book and she can listen to it on her way to work or at the gym or what have you. So I think that that's an awesome idea as well. I'm also big on body and skincare and hair care products. If I have like, I'm really good at, like, especially things that I know that I love. So if there's a new edge gel, that's a new edge control or a new toner or a new facial scrub that I love, and I love it enough, I will buy 6 or 7 of them joints and give them out to my friends around Christmas time because, I mean, let's share the wealth. And especially with all the awesome, like, skincare, Black-owned skincare, hair care businesses, hair care lines and products lines that are out and available and we have access to through like Instagram and stuff. There's so many options of things that we can try and share with our friends. And finally, head wraps. Head wraps is one of my favorite things to get because I mean, I just think every girl's going to have a day where she's not done her hair. And a head wrap is often, I want to say, okay, so like there are times where I won't wear a head wrap. Like I can't wear a hat to work, but I can wear a head wrap. So depending upon, I mean, regardless of whatever someone's profession or career might be, a head wrap is kind of like a I just think it's an awesome gift because it's universal. And a lot of people, even if you don't know how to tie them, you can learn how to tie them, or even they're not hard to do. So I just think it's a cool gift and people can get a lot of use out of. So what are some? Yeah.
I think those are
Did you
dope.
have any others that are ideas for?
I think those are amazing. I think for those who might be tight on money, like we said, just small things, small thoughtful things, like Keia said. Maybe you can't afford even to give somebody a full manicure, but you can go to the dollar store and buy them a buffer, an emery board, some cute nail polish, and you know what I'm saying? And I think little thoughtful things like that. And of course, it also depends on the person's personality. So like Keia said, we talked about a Starbucks gift card. That would mean something to me because I love coffee very, very much. If somebody got me a Brooklyn Roasting Company gift card, I would use it with like gold. I love it very much. But if you have somebody who doesn't drink coffee, that's not a good gift. But like little small thoughtful things that would appeal to a person that you're trying to get them for. If you have somebody who wants to get into writing, buying a notebook and some pens would be really great for them. If you have somebody who likes to jot down their ideas, just things that really mean something to people are the best kind of gifts to give, and they don't have to be very expensive. And then if you have friends who like have kids and they're busy and they have things going on, like we said earlier, it'd be cute if maybe you make them a little coupon and say, this is for me to come over and help you for a day to organize your house, but do it in a form, put it in a card, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Give it to them like that. Because that shows that it's thoughtful, but it's something that doesn't cost you any money because you don't have any money, not because you're cheap. And this is for people who might not necessarily have it, you know what I'm saying? But they're ideas that you can put into action, and they're still very thoughtful and very amazing gifts. Maybe I'll be your cleaning lady for an afternoon and help you come get your life together, or come, this is a voucher for me to come babysit your kids for a night so that you can go out. Just like really thoughtful things like that are really great.
Also, I wanted to say that when it comes to gift cards, especially thoughtful gift cards, like I'm a makeup girl. The girls know that I love makeup. So when it comes to those kinds of gift cards, there's no denomination that's too small. If you give me a $10 gift card at Ulta or Sephora, that's going to be clutch. Because even though I might not be able to buy a whole product, that might, let's say I'm getting ready to buy this, let me just think of some expensive makeup. Let's buy this YSL Touche Éclat powder that I know runs me for $65, right? Your $10 gift card just helped me, sis. Like, you don't even know. So there's no denomination that's too small when it comes to those kinds of thoughtful gift cards. And also, another idea that I have had and have done before in my life, when I didn't have a whole lot of money to get a group of friends a gift, I would just, buy a couple bottles of wine, and invite them girls over to my house, and we can have like a girls' night. We can write down some questions or watch a movie and just have good girlfriend time. And it might not be huge, but sometimes those kinds of opportunities to make those memories often last a lot longer than, a bag or a pedicure or anything that you can buy with money. So don't feel like you're limited in those kinds of things if you're in a struggly place, because I've been a graduate student for a long time now. I've been a student for a real long time. So I know what it's like to not feel like you have the range, especially when, watching my friends who've been working salary jobs for over 10 years now and have a nice little cushion and I don't have that. So, watching, the ways in which we move and operate is going to be different because I don't have the range that some of them have. So the things that we're just hoping that the conversation will help us all to think about ways that we can be thoughtful in our gift giving to help our resources go a lot farther than they would go if we were just out here swiping our cards with reckless abandon.
That's it. It doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to be expensive. You just has to be thoughtful. It's just thinking about the person who you're giving the gift to and what is something that is going to be useful to them, something that that they could really use, that they'd be grateful for. And it's anything that you're able to do, whether it be your time or whether it be something large in monetary value. let's switch. So we're going to talk about some monetary value things. What's on your personal wish list this year?
Now, speaking of monetary value, the first thing that's on my wish list this year is a great need that I have. I know that I can just say I'm not expecting anyone to give me any of this, but just putting it out there in the atmosphere. Just for fun. Y'all know Anthony went on to glory about a few months ago, and I have not yet been able to secure a vehicle to replace Anthony. So I am very much hoping and praying that I can gather my life together and get myself some transportation here soon. So that is number one on my wish list right now. Other things that are on my wish list are I really would like some Jordans. We were just looking at some Jordans just before we started recording. I will say this. Tania, Jessica, Latoya, we were talking about this recently about how that we're now standing squarely in our 30s. My friends and I are reclaiming our time as sneakerheads. Because it seems like we all looked around at each other and was just like, hey girl, we don't have time for her feet no more. So literally we all show up to the function in cute little dresses and beat faces. And if you look down at our feet, we're giving the girls Air Maxes and Huaraches and Jordans.
Reebok
and
classics.
That's just what y'all gonna get. So y'all gonna get into it. So she is revitalizing her sneaker collection. Jade can tell you that I was on the plane to Barbados with a box of Huaraches, literally as my personal carry-on item because I bought them and I did not want to not have my box. So I literally carried the box with me on the plane. Listen, I'm doing, so yes, I would, some retro 11s called the Heiress are coming out. Right now they're out for young girls. I'm hoping and praying that they will release them for grown women. She would like a pair of those. I've not bought myself a real purse in almost 10 years. And because I've been in school for so long. So it's been a long time since I've been able to go. When I say a real purse, I'm talking high end. I have not bought a real bag. That's no shade because girl, y'all see me in my little Aldo bags all the time. So I'm not judging, but I would like to buy myself a real bag here really soon. So that's on my wish list. I guess I'll stop there. I feel like I sound really snooty and bougie la.
Why? No, you don't. First of all, let's just get into the basic real quick. A nigga loves sneakers, okay? Sneakers. I used to have an extensive sneaker collection. I'm had reclaiming my time. Extensive sneaker collection. Somewhere along the way, I started becoming grown, and I was like, I don't really want. And it wasn't because I wore a lot of heels. It was just like I got into some sort of simplistic mindset. I love sneakers though. I really do. I mean, I'm probably not gonna go wild like I used to. I would buy shit like A-Lifes and no niggas are not wearing that now. These are things then, so don't be trying to come for me. But I'm wearing Jordans and A-Lifes and creative recreation. What is it? Recreate, whatever. I forget what the shit is called. But I love sneakers. And now, like you said, I don't have time for hurt feet. I never have. I'm all about my Alfred Woodard. So a good Jordan. The 11s are my favorite Jordan of all time.
It's between 11s and 13s, but I do love a 5 and a 3 as well.
I mean, I love a 5. I love a 3. I actually like the 9s. But
I like the 10s better than the 9s. I don't dislike the 9s, but
I like the 10s, but I like the 9s. Something about them. I think the 9s look like the boxing, like kind of like a boxing shoe a little bit, if I remember right. So I like the 9s, and then of course I still my Spizikes. I got my Spizikes. But listen, and I remember when a lot of these came out. Like I remember when the 11s dropped for the first time.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and I want so right now I'm totally stepping on yours, but you just made me think. I want the Air Max. Fine. I want the Air Max 97s. There's actually 2 pairs that I would like.
95s.
95s used to be my favorite sneaker of all time. And I had several several different pairs of them. But now that the 97s are being re-released, there's a black and white pair that I would like to have. I like the gold and the silver, but the girls are going for like upwards of $225, and I just cannot bring myself to do that right now. But yes, I'm sorry I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. Oh, I like the 90s too. The Air Max 9. I think the Air Max 90s are my favorites. I bought Noah some rose gold Air Max 90s, and I was coveting the hell out of them sneakers.
Yes, you did.
I was like, I need to have these actually, but I bought them for my kid.
So high.
What's on my personal wish list this year? I can't talk. For the longest, and this is getting ready, and I'm about to put my business out there. I cook my ass off, right? And I do everything from scratch. Everybody knows that. But I still, to this day, do not have a KitchenAid mixer.
Oh.
To this day. And when I tell you I would use the hell out of a KitchenAid mixer in every attachment, a nigga would be making sausage and pasta and baked goods and all kind. Like, I still don't have a KitchenAid mixer, and I want a matte black or a navy blue KitchenAid mixer like nobody's business. So that's on my wish list. And then a Lowe's gift card, because I need to get my kitchen floor redone, something awful. And I just have like a lot of things that I need to do in my kitchen. And it's one of those things where I need to go to the hardware store and like pick out flooring, paint, new hinges, and things like that. And so a Lowe's gift card would be like the clutchiest of clutch.
That's how you know you're getting grown. When you start talking about furniture and housewares and appliances and stuff. That's how you know you're grown for real.
Those are on my personal wish list. Like, those are like my two big huge items that I would want. I'm like, somebody drop me just a fat Lowe's gift card, and I would go ham. I already have plans for it. I know what I need to do. And always a Home Good gift card. A Home Goods gift card is, you have just touched my soul. Like,
Home Goods, absolutely, you have. And
you have just touched my soul.
Son, if whoever he is, listen, I know that the man, like I said, the man for me, for real, forever, man, like your boy who filled my gas tank those times, the best gift ever. If I go to pay a bill one day and you've already paid it,
the draws are coming down.
You want to talk about busting it wide the hell open? You hear me?
Like 9:15.
Man, listen. like honestly, I'm giving the girl 6 o'clock. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me tell you. Sis,
I'm talking about
like
straight up and down, 15, honey. Straight up and down.
Straight wide across.
Oh, gosh. We should wrap it up right there.
You did what? Yeah, we should, actually.
Let me go to pay a bill. Let me go to pay a bill. If I ever see a zero balance anywhere, you listen. All right. Thus concluded.
I'm doing a split. Okay, so it's time to go into the honesty box.
Kitchen table talk. We have really wrapped because let's.
We have just done a lot here.
Honestly,
truly, time for the honesty box.
That's it.
So this honesty box. We haven't had one like this yet.
Oh boy, it's gonna be juicy.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, what the fuck? So, hey, Keia and Jade, my name is Shanna.
Hey.
And I'm 22 years old with a 4-year-old daughter. I work a full-time job. Me too. I'm 22 years old with a 4-year-old daughter too, girl. I work a full-time job and take night classes. So sometimes I do not feel like touching my daughter's hair, and I will send her to school with an old Bantu knot out. I'm not mad at it. One day I sent her to school with a 2-day-old Bantu knot out, and it was a little dry, but I was extremely tired. I picked her up to see that she had a forced ponytail. Mind you, her hair is not that long.
Wait a minute.
I asked my daughter.
Wait a minute.
I didn't want to laugh at that.
Wait a minute.
I'm like, girl, you had to say that.
Okay.
I asked my daughter why her hair was like that, and she stated her teacher didn't like it and it hurts.
Her teacher didn't like her hair?
Her hair.
Before she forced the ponytail in it.
Yes. And she said the ponytail hurts.
Mm.
I was beyond pissed. One, because she loved her bush. And two, her hair is not your job. I work extremely hard to make sure we embrace our blackness. What would you have done? By the way, I'm a new listener. Not sure if you've already talked about this. We have not. I've heard stories about white teachers touching black kids' hair, but not a black teacher touching a black kid's hair. First and foremost, as a parent, you have every right to do your child's hair in whatever manner you want. And when I do your child's hair in whatever you want. So whatever effort you put into that, that is what happens in your household. So as long as your child's hair is clean, that is all anybody needs to be worried about. If it was a situation where your child is unkempt and like it seems like they're being neglected in the home, maybe that would be a different situation. But you don't ever take it upon yourself to touch nobody's child's hair. And if you ever fix your lips to tell me that you don't like my child's hair and that's why you took it upon yourself, you took the liberty to change the hairstyle, I'm going to first take my child out of your classroom and then I'm going to whoop your ass for touching my kid. Don't touch my damn kid. Okay? And so I'm not condoning violence in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't want you to do that. But I think that if I were you, I would have a very stern and pointed conversation with that teacher and the administrator at that school about what's appropriate and what's not appropriate and how, whether you don't care what her personal opinion is, as long as your child's hair is clean, she don't need to put her fingers in it.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I think that's just what it is. A conversation is absolutely required. And I think that like Jay said, it has to be had between yourself, the teacher, and an administrator, whether that be the principal, assistant principal, whomever this teacher answers to. I would need to know exactly why. I mean, I would have a conversation just to figure out. I mean, of course, not saying that you don't believe your child, but just getting her, hearing what she has to say about what happened. That's true. And what led to her restyling your daughter's hair. And then, you know, whatever, regardless of what her response is, I think you would need to be, like Jay said, have a very direct conversation, letting her know what your feelings are about her opinions and why they don't matter when it comes to your child's hair.
And don't mince words. And I think your point about making sure that your family embraces your blackness and celebrating your daughter's blackness and showing her that there's beauty in her natural hair and how you style that, first of all, I think that's beautiful. And I think expressing that to the teacher, I think having a conversation with her and putting that in there is very important because she needs to know that, you know, there's intention behind how you raise your child.
I'm curious to know. I know that you said that she's a black lady, but I'm curious to know if she's an older black lady because in my mind, I feel like, you know, there's that dynamic, that's, you know, of sometimes older black women feeling like they can take certain liberties when it comes to like parenting and child rearing and advice, you know, because all black moms give advice, whether they even realize they're doing it or not. So I kind of get like that was a kind of my initial inkling. Like I had like a gut feeling. Like I just feel like this is probably an older lady who feels a way about the way that this little girl's hair look. She doesn't understand the Bantu not out. I can think about my own family members being, you know, proud card carrying members of the press and curl generation and not understanding or subscribing to natural hair and being really confused by the fact that my hair is natural and having, you know, dealing with those things. But I'm an adult and it's annoying to me. So I can only imagine what it is for your child, your 4-year-old, to have to navigate, you know, somebody questioning their hair as it comes out of their head, like they have some control over that. But yeah, so I mean, that was just kind of like a a point of interest for me personally. I just wonder what that dynamic is, regardless of who this lady is, how old she is, whatever her story is. The bottom line is she doesn't have any business doing what she's done. And I just think
touching your kids.
What I would do is to let her know that she doesn't have any business, and to let her know that it will not be tolerated. Now, you can decide whether or not you want to keep your child in that class. It's totally up to you. But you know, I think the first order of business is, like Jay said, having that conversation. Keep your fingers out my child's head.
Out of my kid's head.
This is not your business. If you got a problem with the way she looks, you can talk to me about it, but don't take it upon yourself. Right.
You can have a conversation. And I know kids lie, especially.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say lie, but, you know, embellish.
No, they do. They lie. No,
embellish,
they lie.
You know.
They flat out like
they're
little
creative,
rugs.
In the ways that they
little
express
rugs
themselves. So yeah, we'll see.
They lie. And so but regardless of that, even if the child, let's say your child did say that she didn't like her own hair, you still don't take it upon yourself to change the hairstyle. You speak to me as the parent, out of respect for my household and what I have chosen to do with my child.
Every day.
So regardless of anything, you need to have a conversation. Keia did bring out a really good point. I didn't think about her being an older lady, but that's a really good point, because that is a thing. But regardless, you have every right to express how you feel about that and to tell her to never do that again.
Yeah, man. I think that's it. Hope this helps.
We can move on. Let us know. Give us an update and let us know how it goes. Make sure you're sending your honesty box questions to gettingrownpodcast@gmail.com. And you could hear yours on the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on to the petty peeves.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister, because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
So this week on Petty Peeves, I have a message for individuals who feel like they can take things that don't belong to them. So I had to leave Barbados a little bit earlier than everyone else because I had to get back to work. I had a meeting on Monday that I needed to attend. So I left really early, and somehow I had a connecting flight. In Miami. Somehow between the airplane from Barbados to Miami, me sitting in my seat and me getting off the airplane, my wallet grew legs and left my purse. Now I acknowledge that my purse was a very large bag, and there were lots of things in it. The bag was under my seat. And in picking up the so I mean I can't say that. I'm saying that to say that, like, there is a chance that the wallet fell out of my bag. I don't necessarily know that I believe that to be true, but I'm saying that there is a chance. So I mean, just in fairness. But I believe that someone went into my bag and took my wallet. And when I realized it was gone, they searched the plane, and they asked me where I was sitting. They didn't see the wallet by my seat, so they told me that the wallet was stolen. I had to file a police report and do all of that. Later that night, I received a text message from American Airlines saying that they had found my wallet. And when I inquired with Lost and Found, I was told that my wallet was found in a completely different part of the plane, which further confirms for me that someone had my wallet, went through it, found that it was empty because it was, but that's not the point.
It's not.
And when there was nothing in it that they could take for themselves, they just kind of threw it wherever on the plane. And that's why, it wasn't found until much, much later. So my petty peeve is for thieves, man. Like, what kind of mangy, useless person steals? Like, okay. I mean, okay. I've never been a thief. I have really bad anxiety. I could never. I think I told a story about the time where I accidentally stole a shirt from Express and was crying in the mall. So there is the part of me. I mean, I get that. I'm saying that, my mind doesn't process. Like, I don't understand how stealing works. So how you can have a good conscience about stealing. I do know that there are other people who don't share that sentiment with me. But I don't know.
I hope they don't listen to this show.
I hope they don't listen to this show either. But if they do, please know that I believe you to be a terrible person. Especially something like a wallet. Like, because I carry my whole life. Like, there's so much in my wallet. And I just feel like it takes a certain kind of thief to take something like that.
First of all, I'm sorry. I hate to interject into your petty peeve.
No. I mean, I was pretty much done. It was just, I'm just still processing, and I don't even feel like I can fully curse somebody. Because they're shipping my wallet back to me, so I need to see what has been taken out of it. All of my credit cards have been canceled, and I don't think I had any, thankfully, because I had good sense. And we went to that mall in Barbados, and I didn't take my whole bag.
Mm-hmm.
I had my debit card and my license and other things. Like, I had my debit card, my license, and then another card in this little wallet that I carry on my keys. So that I had never put it back into my big wallet. So thankfully, none of my identification was in the wallet. And my main debit card that I use all the time was still with me. So I was very grateful for that. But I still felt like, what if all that stuff was in there? Someone could literally have access to all of me.
No, it's violent. And it's like, we're all trying to survive out here. Like, everybody is trying to make it. And clearly, if we're all on this American airline flight, we ain't got no money like that.
Clearly.
We ain't got no flight.
Sitting in the back in the colored people section of the American Airlines flight.
So clearly, if we're on this flight, we are all broke here. And so for you to think that it's okay to take from me when I'm just as hardworking as the next person, like, you think that it's okay for you to go through my stuff, you're a terrible human being, and I hope something awful happens to you.
Don't nobody give me much. That's just I'm saying that to say I work every dime, every single dime that I have. I worked for it.
Every penny.
So I just feel like people who cheat and steal and try to get ahead for nothing, what kind, everything about what? Oh, I can't even speak. No integrity, no character, at all. You're trash. And I just can't even believe that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I really feel naive because I'm just people get things stolen from them all the time. But I know that I'm not above any of that. But at the same time, I just felt so helpless. I don't ever want to feel like that again. I get me going through my bag and not feeling like I don't have my things. I was grateful that I had my passport and all that other stuff, but feeling like all my corporate card for work, all my checks, everything, all these things, all my health insurance information, feeling like I didn't have that stuff. Thankfully, I don't carry my social security card and shit, but it's just those kinds of things. I don't know. Yeah. I don't even feel like this is a real good petty peeve because this is neither petty, but nor a peeve. It's just girl, keep your dusty, dirty, filthy, useless hands off my things. That's all.
That's it. Don't touch my shit. My petty peeve is kind of petty. I'm going to preface this by saying that I am not an ableist. I'm not a cruel human being. I just like fairness, and I don't like people coming at me reckless. And so if you come at me reckless, then I'm going to hit below the belt. So, that disclaimer out there. I left the wonderful peace and harmony of Barbados, the easygoing attitude of the islands. I left that in Barbados. I tried to bring it back to the States, but there's always something that triggers you and brings you right back to reality. Although there was a thing in Barbados, but I'm going to let Fury tell that because I think he's going to. But anyway, about that cab driver, raggedy ass, dusty ass human being.
Man, listen.
Those are people who steal. Anyway, so shut your mouth when I'm not talking to you. That is my petty peeve. I was driving home. Now there is an issue. Clearly, I live in New York City. I live in Brooklyn. It is hard to find parking. I do not have a driveway, so I have to find street parking. You already know how it is with alternate side parking. If you don't know what it is, here in New York, you have to. We have street cleaning, and so there is a Monday, Thursday side, a Tuesday, Friday side, and if you are parked on a Monday, Thursday side, the street cleaning is from 8 a.m. to 10:30. You need to find a parking spot on Tuesday, Friday side so you don't have to move your car. Yes, it is very stressful. We use our car pretty often. I don't really drive to work a lot. Sometimes I do, but my husband uses the car to go get Noah from school because he gets out earlier than me. So I have the car today on a rare occasion, and I'm looking for parking when I come home. I see a spot, but there's two dudes standing outside of their car, and they just need to move back a couple of inches. So I pull up, roll my window down. I'm on the phone with Nikki, Houston Nikki. So she can attest to all of this because she heard the entire conversation. It's very nice. Rolled the window down. I said, "Excuse me, you mind moving back a couple inches?" Now if he would have gone over the line, he would have gotten a ticket. But I'm not gonna put him in that predicament. Like, can you move back a couple inches? If you do that, I'll be able to fit in between you and the car in front. So he's like, "All right, I'll move back." He's like, "But I'm already at the line." I said, "No, you're not at the line. I already peeped your car when I came around the corner, which is why I'm asking you. If you move back a couple of inches, you'll still be within legal limitations, and I will be able to park my vehicle." I was like, I live right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired with all this construction of not being able to park by my house. So if you move back a couple inches, we can both get what we want. So he's like, "All right." So he says he's going to move the car back. So his friend's standing outside the car. He's looking around. So he's like inspecting how much he can move back. I'm like, "Nigga, just get in the car and put it in reverse and move back a couple of inches. Like, stop acting like this is fucking brain surgery." So I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking to myself. So as it's taking more time, I do get out of the car and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? Can you just move back a couple of inches? And I'm getting irritated at this point. Like, can you just move back a few inches? And he's like, "I'm already at the line. I'm already at the line." So he moves back. He finally gets in his car. He moves back them 3 inches. I squeeze him into the parking spot. Don't tap his car. Him and his friend are inspecting for dear life to make sure that I don't tap his car when I park. I get in there and I'm fine. So I got out and I said, "See?" I was like, "You got what you want. I got what I want. I can go home." He's like, "I live right there. I want to go home too." I said, "Great. Then go home. Like, go on then." You know what I'm saying? Trying to still maintain my peace or whatever. His friend decides that he's going to open his mouth. He was already at the line. He was already at the line. Now, his friend's standing there. He has a cane, but he comes talking to me like real big reckless, come yelling at me with his cane, wagging his cane at me. And so when he picked that cane off the ground and shook it at me, I knew it was fair game because you don't need it like that if you're able to pick it up and shake it at me.
Oh my God.
I was like, "Shut the fuck up. Nobody was talking to you." I was like, "And if you say anything else, I'm going to kick your cane." So that's my petty peeve this week. When nobody is addressing you and you are not a part of this equation because clearly you were not driving that car, then shut your mouth and stay out of it.
Well,
and that's my petty peeve this week.
That'll do it. That will certainly do it. That will certainly
was so irritated.
Most positively do it. And I don't think there's anything further. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to episode 35 of Getting Grown with Jade and Keia. We do appreciate it. And shout out to everyone who stuck with us. We know that this was a little long. We just had a lot to say, but we're a day late. Hopefully you guys aren't mad with us. We'll make up for it with just a little bit more, conversation. Hopefully you guys, found the kitchen table talk helpful. Let us know what you want us to talk about for the rest of the year. I meant to ask you about this in the beginning, sis, so hopefully you won't hate this and think it's a terrible idea. Ty suggested a best of Getting Grown episode for the holiday season.
Yes. No, it was a wonderful idea.
So if you guys would like something like that, please let us know, and let us know which episodes you would like us to pull from to put that together. That would be helpful to us.
Yeah. Let us know your favorite moments.
Yes, because I know I will be traveling to Tennessee to see my mom for the holidays, the week of Christmas. So maybe we can put something together in lieu of episode that week. So
you guys will still get something.
Yeah. So you guys will get a Christmas episode from Jade and Keia. Yeah, so if nothing else, we can consider this meeting adjourned.
Also, for next week, maybe even, let us know some of your best gifts, your worst gifts.
True indeed.
And yeah, let us know some of your experiences, some of your funnies, and then some ideas that you may have for gifts. And maybe we'll do a part 2 where we'll read some of the things that our listeners have to say as well.
Sure. And if you have a business that you want featured, something, if you feel like if there are certain businesses that you patronize, you've gotten gifts from before you want us to mention, shoot us an email and let us know. We can try to put something together. Also, I totally would be remiss in not saying that I hope those of you in the DMV area will be joining us on Friday, for the live Friend Zone. Jade and I will be hosting the live Friend Zone. You can still get your tickets. I think there are a few more left. The links are available. We'll put those in the description box as well. Also, thanks you guys so much. For those who have purchased tickets or expressed an interest in purchasing tickets, or just sent your congratulations and support. Team Typing Fast DC is selling very well.
Yes.
We have a few more tickets left. So hopefully you guys can continue to buy your tickets, and I'd love to sell out my first event. How awesome would that be?
You will.
But I will include the link in the description box if you guys want to hang out with myself. Jade's going to be there. And just other Black women who are out here working really hard. We're going to talk about the importance of prioritizing personal care and being your true self in every space, while pursuing productivity and being purposeful and intentional about your professional success as a Black woman. So join us. We're going to have heavy appetizers and signature sangria and some good laughs and chuckles, and cackles and just good times amongst us sister friends in the DC area. And if all goes well, hell, we'll take this show on the road.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. We'll see. IDK. But anyway, yeah, man, we're going to have lots of things in the information box. So make sure that you guys check that out. And
shout out to everybody using Team #TypingFast.
Oh, absolutely. I love you guys. And I try to respond to all the tweets. It's a lot, but you guys keep using it because I love it. And hopefully we'll be able to grow that in the coming year. I'm working on a couple of things.
I'm so excited for you.
But yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I think so. Are we ready?
I think that's it.
I think we're ready.
I think that's it.
All right.
We've bothered you all enough.
We have hemmed you up far too long. We're really sorry, but we had lots to chat about.
Be free now. Be free.
Yes. And have an awesome week. And we'll talk to you guys next Tuesday.
Later.
Yeah, stay moisturized.
Oh yeah.
Drink your water. Mind your business. Your black will crack if it's dry.
It's dry.
You forgot. It's fine. Bye.
Bye.